City officials from Dallas and Fort Worth met here at Arlington with the governing board of the regional airport to get the design proposals of the architects and engineers. It is not formally approved as the actual design at this time. The totally new concept revealed here is called the humanized airport. That was one of the principal criteria set forth by Airport Director Thomas Sullivan.
Passenger convenience must be uppermost in your planning. And so what they've done is taken a plan to where a 500-passenger airplane can come up, and literally those passengers will not have to walk much more than 300 or 400 feet.
The first phase, which is planned to be in operation within 4 years from now, would provide 4 times the number of passenger gates as Love Field has now, and 4 runways for the aircraft. The capacity could be doubled in all respects. Naturally, such innovations will cost dearly. However, the planners hope that the regional airport will pay its own way. Construction and financing is expected to cost $350 million. Sullivan said that if all commercial business from Love Field and from Greater Southwest is transferred to the regional airport, the revenue bonds could be retired with no tax money. If the airport board and both city councils approve these plans, Sullivan said the first grading and drainage contract could be let by early November. This is Rosser McDonald, Channel 8 News.
For more than a dozen years, this has been going on in Dallas now. The Dallas AFL-CIO Council has been bringing political candidates before union affiliate members so that the unions can meet the men whom they must elect in the general election. Tonight, according to Gene Freeland, the General Secretary of the Dallas AFL-CIO Council, they have a better turnout than they have ever had before. Possibly this is because of the issues in this election year. Right now, Mike McCool and Rob Stewart, candidates in the 16th political district for the state legislature, are speaking. This promises to be a hard-fought race. The questions from the audience are fast and furious. Next Friday night, more political candidates will be here in the Baker Lounge to meet union affiliates. At the Baker, Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News.
Well, there's really nothing wrong with the generation of youth as a whole. Of course, there are outstanding examples of difficulty that could be the result of the over-permissive type of psychology that has now since been discarded. But this age group now reaching the 20s, where the result of this sort of psychology in the treatment of rearing children.
If they're over-restricted, then they lose all initiative. If they're under-restricted, why should they care about developing any talents or any responsibility to society or their fellow man? Why do I worry about 3 meals a day? We have enough money. I don't have to work. They'll send me to college. I don't have to work my way through college. If I bust out, so what? They'll take care of me. But restrictions, though, have to start early. The family wants to do everything for their kids. Sometimes they overdo because they themselves had a rather rough deal. And they swing too far in that so-called pendulum of, well, I had it rough, I want to make it easy for mine. They make it too easy. They neglect those essentials of responsibility that the youngster has to learn. If they are too tough with them, then they may rebel. So finding that in-between spot is not the easiest thing for any parent to do.
What would development of this airport do for the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Oh, it's going to make it one of the greatest metropolitan areas in the world, in my judgment. I sincerely believe that because of the great airspace and because of the great ground space. The major cities in the United States, for example, have run out of both. They have no more airspace, they have no more ground space. So this is an opportunity for us to capitalize on those assets, and I think that this will come about.
The regional airport under this plan would be a huge complex covering 18,000 acres, but the use areas will be broken up into small centers. Each airline would be in a separate terminal with as much room as business requires, with parking within 300 feet of each passenger's individual flight. All related facilities and services would be contained in each center. A rapid transit system then would connect each terminal for the convenience of passengers needing to transfer from one airline to another. The design envisions the large supersonic planes as well as the smallest air taxi craft. However, little or no private plane activity would be allowed from the regional airport.